XI to meet best and bosom friend Putin amid raging US trade war. Chinese President Xi Jinping will touch down in Russia Wednesday to meet his cementing economic ties between Moscow and Beijing amid China's with the United States. The Chinese leader is expected to spend on the state visit to Russia that coincides with the annual St. Petersburg Internet. In an interview with Russian state media TASS ahead of the trip, Xi called Putin his best. Xi's visit comes as the trade war between the US and China continues to put pressure on both economies. In early May, Beijing responded by raising tariffs on $60 billion of US exports and escalating its anti-American propaganda. On May 30th, Meanwhile, the relationship between Xi and Putin remains strong. Since 2013, the Chinese government has regularly praised its relationship with Moscow, with the foreign ministry saying in April relations were at their. China is Russia's trading partner, far ahead of the United States and other European countries. According to Xi, the bilateral trade volume reached, rising by 30% from the previous year. China's imports. There have even been suggestions in Russian state media that Chinese businesses might consider moving production to Russia. But Lam said he wasn't sure how much use Russia would be to China in avoiding serious economic damage from the US trade war. It isn't known when Xi and Putin will meet, but Russian and Chinese state media said they were expected to sign about, including security, trade and energy. During his visit, Xi is also expected to open a panda facility at the Moscow Zoo, which received a pair of giant pandas in April.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot bar. I get fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.